Wrestling with WWE Saturday Night's main event. It took place last Saturday. It'd be funny if they did Saturday Night's main event on like a Tuesday, but maybe that's just me.
But that would be taboo.
I love the reference. Five cards, five cards on the match. On 5 cards on the event. Nothing necessarily out of the ordinary, unfortunately, but it was an interesting and somewhat entertaining show. What say you, Kaliko?
Um, yeah, five. Five. Honestly, I mean, I can only imagine if you spent all that money for 5 matches. But watch what we about to do at Money in the Bank, and it's just like what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Well, this was a
with
paid
that
preview.
being said,
That's a PLE. This is a
yeah, at least it was a
two-hour
pay-per-view.
glorified house show at this point.
There had been like more matches on that card. You can't tell me they just sat there for 2 hours. I mean, never mind, because NXT does it like religiously. So yeah,
But
so yeah.
but the difference between that show, those shows, and this show was that this was a 2-hour show. NXT and PLEs are 3 hours, sometimes 3 plus.
But I mean, this show did what it was supposed to do. A couple of surprises, uh, a couple of upsets that I didn't see coming. But yeah, it did. For the most part, it did whatever it was supposed to.
There was a dark match before the show went on, because, um, yeah, giving the people what they want, um, by
They
giving
have to.
by giving them exactly what they didn't want. American made defeated Latino World Order. So you paid.
I mean, you got to give them hot with something.
I mean, yeah.
No El
So
Grande Americano.
no Grande Americano. It was a Brutus Beefcake and Julius Creed.
Bruce Beefcake. Oh my God, I can't even say. Please don't say that name because every time I hear it, I think when Tony Storm said we're giving lap dances to Bruce to
Well,
can't.
that brings us to the matches that were actually on the card. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman defeated CM Punk and Sami Zayn in 13 minutes 10 seconds. It was a good match. The crowd popped hard for CM Punk. Like CM Punk was their guy that night. Arguably the loudest pop of the night. And yeah, it was a pretty hot match. People were into it. I was into it. Definitely didn't expect that unexpected moment of having uh what is his name? Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed coming in and saving the guy that he put out for a couple of months in Seth Rollins. I mean, that didn't necessarily make all the sense in the world at the time, but we're going into some Vince logic in the Renaissance era, apparently. But yeah, I think it did what it had to do. The Dord Man has been announced, and we have a clear view of what's going on next. What say you, Kaliko?
Well, there goes the third guy being Sammy. Unless he's just gonna be the fourth guy.
He's the fourth guy
To be
and
quite
just
honest,
4 guys.
Yeah, he's the fourth guy, I guess. Yeah. But the only thing that got me was the match. I mean, we expected Assassin in the win, so that was the given. Because of course, what happened with Raw, Seth qualifying Money in the Bank. So catapults him. Um, the shock is Reed coming back.
I didn't know that he was ready to come
Did
back, that he was cleared.
they they didn't give a reason why he joined Seth though. I think they need a clearer reason because last I checked, Bronson Reed had put his ass out for the NFL season.
Right.
Uh, so they got to do a better job of explaining that. Then I see what they tried to do with him. Getting back to the match, yeah, it shows. It basically showed two people who were hodgepodge. The stories, two people that were kind of like forced together to fight a cohesive unit, and the cohesive unit won. That is just going to be on a smaller scale because I think the bigger scale is going to be when Roman comes back. So that's where I see, that's where I can see something possibly losing, but we don't know yet. So we'll see what happens there. But I think that was just a junior test run for like when Roman comes back, and then Roman and Punk eventually have to team up at SummerSlam.
Do you think that we'll see Roman cost set the Money in the Bank, and they'll start the storyline between um, Punk Roman, Set Breaker?
With Money in the Bank, oh, he might win it. Because it's him or LA Knight.
Well, I mean, we'll get into Money in the Bank when we get later
We'll
on.
get into that, but if like you said, if Seth is to get costed in, I would expect Punk to cost it more so than Roman. It would make sense. Either one would make sense, but it seems like Punk has been that constant thorn in the side as of late. So that's why I say it would seem more like Punk would cost him than Roman.
How many stars do you give this one?
Um, 3.5. It was a good story. I mean, good match. It told the story it needed to be told. They had the surprise run in. Right team won. Like I said, when they do these factions and heels, you have to give them something to catapult with, and catapulting with a win is always big in my book.
I agree. The match was 3 stars. The unexpected moment and the right team winning makes it 3.5. Alright, then we have Zelina Vega defeating Chelsea Green to retain the Women's United States Championship in 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Not Ito Girl's best outing, especially that botched 619 that literally broke Chelsea Green's nose. Um, so I don't want to say that they understood the assignment. They took the assignment, but they did not pass the assignment, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an okay match that was only heightened because of how horribly wrong it went.
Right.
I mean, luckily, Chelsea is running with it, only Chelsea could, but it still doesn't excuse breaking somebody's nose, if I'm being honest.
True. I mean, but I told you that she was winning. I mean, that threw me off, and I only think the only reason they would have her lose is to. I'm trying to think. Is she in? I think there's one more spot in the Money in the Bank.
There is, but I'm pretty sure that it goes to a Raw competitor. It's either going to go to Vakor, Liv, or can't remember who the last.
It ain't going to live. It ain't going to live.
I know, but it's not going to Nile either.
Yeah, Nia just lost. So I'm thinking either it's Chelsea Vakor, Chelsea or Vakor. One of those two.
It's either going to be Liv or Stephanie because they're in the last qualifying match on June 2nd.
Oh, well, fuck it. Stephanie getting it. It ain't going to be. I mean, she just lost.
But how could it go to Stephanie when she's going to be wrestling literally hours before the show at Worlds Collide?
You don't think they're going to put a double duty on that ass?
I mean, it's not like that ass can handle double duty, but do you really...
Yeah, that ass can handle quadruple duty. What are you talking about?
But... I mean, do you want to burn her out even before she gets to the main roster?
They've been burning her out since she got on the motherfucker.
I mean, true, but at some point,
her first match was at a Supercard show in Mexico. What the fuck are you talking about? They didn't burn her ass out day one. Oh, yeah, you got here, get to work.
I mean, but let's talk, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Zelina Vega, Chelsea Green, how many stars?
2.5. I thought Chelsea was gonna win. I was shocked. Zelina won. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I give it. It was a 2-star match, but with the injury, I'll give it 1.5. Out of curiosity, did our good friend Dave Meltzer rate these matches?
You know what? Fuck him. Fuck it. Our only mat rankings that matter are ours. As much as I want to say guess that rating, oh, this motherfucker did do it. This son of a bitch. He is the most inconsistent motherfucker. Ay. I can't. I cannot.
Would you like to do your intro?
Reluctantly, America, I have to give you another episode of Guess That Rating with Kaliko Yastradamus, Jazzy James J, trying to figure out what the biggest mark of all marks rates his matches. All right, so we're second match in, so I'll do this. I'll let you guess the Punk Zayn match first, then we'll get to Chelsea.
Okay. So we gave Punk and Zayn versus Seth Breaker 3.5 each. We agreed on that.
Yes, we agreed.
I say that Meltzer gave it a 3.
Higher.
3.5?
3.5. You agree with us?
Look at us.
He's lucky. He's lucky. Now on to Vega Green.
I think me and Dave might be vibing on this one. 1.5.
Nope.
2.
Nope.
1.25?
Nope.
Okay, what is it?
In a first. No rating.
He didn't rate the match?
I guess he didn't think it was worthy the rate.
Wow.
I can't. I can't help you there.
Is that as is that worth as much as a 0-star match?
I mean, I would think he could do a 0-star match. I mean, to be fair, he didn't rate the pre-show, so yeah, I don't. Maybe he went to the bathroom. Diverticulitis. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
That brings us to John Cena defeating R-Truth in 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
No, 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 no. It was John Cena defeating Ron Cena.
Yep, you're correct on that. Um, I wanted to like this match. Like the hype going into it was like really, really good. Like there was a lot of hype with John Cena versus Ron Cena and the entrances and then this was basically a squash match, honestly. And that was the most disappointing thing about it. It should have been a lot longer than it was. And all honestly, they could have cut Vega and Green and gave this like an extra 4 minutes. But yeah, this isn't what I necessarily wanted it to be. It was kind of a letdown. What say you, Kaliko?
Hmm. I ain't gonna lie, that Ron Cena had me popping. I literally tried to buy this shirt. If it weren't for the fact that that shirt wasn't coming out or wasn't gonna come to my house in time for Money in the Bank, that would be the shirt I'm wearing to Money in the Bank.
So you
Just,
pre-ordered it?
just saying. Oh hell yeah! My kid hates it though. He hates it, and that tells you everything you need to know. The fact that it irritated a 9-year-old that he came out and. But I mean, everything before the bell rang was awesome, and then the bell rang, and you're like, "Fuck." Uh, I thought this match would have been honestly. It, were we really expecting like a 2002 R-Truth match?
I don't think that we were expecting, a 5-star Tokyo Dome match, but I feel like we should have gotten at least a more entertaining match than 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
I
Like
mean,
I
that
think,
match was entertaining for what it was. I ain't gonna.
but
Him
I
hitting that not five knuckle shuffle, I'm just saying, like,
right, but it could have been a little bit longer and a little bit more entertaining.
well, the match itself was 4 minutes, but then you got the shit that happened after, which is part of it.
Right.
Um, I will say this though, the thinking of the what's the word I'm looking for? The fact that Cena didn't hit Truth with the belt during the match, it almost felt like it's almost like how can I put it? He kind of saw himself for a second there.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was blatant, like for the storytelling that it is, but that little second caught my eye. Um, but then he was like, "To hell with it. We're just gonna keep going all the way," and he went all the way with it. So it's no different.
How many stars you give this one?
I mean, If it was before the bell rang, this would have been like four. The simple fact that R-Truth got a pop like that coming out to John Cena in that shirt, I I'm done. But then the bell rang, and it took it lasted 4 minutes. I guess John Cena got a flight to catch. Uh, yeah. I mean, I feel like two is generous.
I'll say it. I'll say it this way: the match was 2 stars, but everything overall around it was 2.5 stars. The entrances
Yeah.
was worth a half a star.
I mean, that entrance alone. I
Yep.
mean, it was funny because they tried to pan to Cena, and he tried not to break so hard. It's just hard. You could just tell because like he was doing like the I see. I've never seen Cena do a duck lip. That's how you know he was trying not to break. I mean, yo, truth can make a break, bro. I'm just saying, dude's nice.
Speaking of breaking, Damian Priest defeated. Well, actually, Dave Meltzer. He gave this 1.5,
Lower
1.25.
1.25. How dare he?
Hmm.
He was not entertained.
Guess he doesn't include the entrances.
I mean, maybe not. I mean, who knows? I mean, true.
Yep. Damian Priest defeated Drew McIntyre by escaping the cage in a solid steel cage match in 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Could have gone 10 more seconds to be a solid 12, but I don't remember too much of this match. It was solid wrestling, but I think the most memorable thing about it was Jesse Ventura's meltdown
Rant.
yeah, of Damian Priest just walking out of the cage. Unfortunately, I think that's what people are gonna remember going forward with this match. Um, Not taking away from
I know
everybody.
he's like, you could have climbed the top. He he went off. I was like, God damn, bro.
I feel like this needed more time to breathe just to be a better match, but I digress. It seems like everything was just too short, in my opinion. With the only exception being the first match, which was the tag team match, which I think was timed perfectly.
I mean, this one, but I mean, if you watch a Mania match, I mean, you weren't going to top that with a steel cage.
Um, I agree with that.
Uh, I just think this match was for Priest to kind of, because I mean, it seems like it's over, and it gives Drew a loss without a pin, and that's what's important. It protects Drew. It gives Priest a win that he desperately needed without killing Drew's momentum.
I think Drew McIntyre is taking some time off right now. Um,
I couldn't put it past him.
and that's why they had the match, so there would be a reason why he was off TV. Um, so if that was actually the case, I mean, I couldn't necessarily tell you why Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre continued the feud after WrestleMania. It kind of seemed, cut and dry. Drew won, need the next, but they just kept going. Um, but if Drew's taking some time off, it makes sense. Priest gets a win, not necessarily giving Drew McIntyre a pin. There's a reason why Drew's are not on TV, and Priest is looking strong going into Money in the Bank.
Right.
So,
That is true.
if you sort out that equation, how many stars you give it?
I mean, it's a 3. It's a good match, but nothing to write home about. I mean, if you're gonna bump it up more, it's because fucking Ventura had an old man Dennis the Menace get off my yard rant at the end. But
Yelling at the clouds?
I know, just yelling at the sky like Jesus Christ.
Um, I mean, yeah, if we're counting the Jesse Ventura run, then maybe this was a 5-star match. But if we're talking about if we watched it on mute, then this would probably just be a 3-star match, in my opinion.
Yes, on mute, 3-star, easy.
All right, Uncle Dave is definitely not as generous as us, so I'm gonna say 2.25.
Higher, actually.
2.5.
Uh, let's go higher.
2.75.
3.75. This
Oh,
match got a higher rating than Brock Breaker, the tag match.
hmm,
So thus
interesting.
far, Meltzer has this as his match of the night. Granted, there's one more match left.
And that is the World Heavyweight Championship match. Jey Uso defeated Logan Paul in 9 minutes 45 seconds. Um, it is interesting that John Cena had that little confrontation with Uso before the match. So it would definitely make sense to stand the reason to say that if John Cena wants to ruin pro wrestling, then he would want Logan Paul to win the world championship. But I wouldn't necessarily call that a compliment to Logan Paul. I would maybe say that that's more of a put down of Logan Paul. Um, Nonetheless, he's teaming with him at Money in the Bank. So I digress.
Yes.
I think it made sense. The match was nothing to write home about. It was one of what is his name? Logan Paul's weaker performances as of now. Um, but it was kind of just to get to what we all thought. Well, what what they're setting up. Uh, Cody Rhodes coming back, making the save for Uso, tag team match at Money in the Bank.
Hmm. Right. So it did what it was supposed to do. The right, I mean,
What say you about
yeah,
the match?
I mean, I, I, I mean, I agree. It got to where it needed to go. Uh, the whole purpose of it was to get to goddamn Money in the Bank and get Cody a reason to come back for Cena. Um, Uso won because he's really popular, no matter what they say.
Mm-hmm.
So now he gets to deal with a tag match before getting to Gunther. Uh, but for now, it was an okay match. I just you would think the stylistically it would make sense, but I mean, it's just a lack of chemistry for me with them too.
I think it could have, like I said, it could have been better if they had time to breathe. Um,
Breathe? Shit, Jay was breathing fucking from the entrance. What are you talking about?
What I mean is...
And I love Jay, but man, boy, you better learn how to control your energy going down them goddamn ramps.
I mean, what I mean is, have time to actually get used to each other and feel things out, take their time, rather than rush a 9-minute match.
I mean, I felt like they had to rush the 9-minute match because all the other shit that was going to happen after.
Right. Because it wasn't really a match to begin with. It was just a segment to set up...
a reason for Cena to try to fuck him over. Yeah, it was basically a reason to set the tag match.
Right. And that's all it really was. That being said, unexpected moment to see Cena interfere. Very welcome moment for Cody Rhodes to come back. And Cody got a pop, which, wasn't the case when he left.
Let me stop. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm shutting the fuck up because that ain't got nothing to do with it. I mean, I'm not gonna beat that horse, but they set him up to fail that WrestleMania.
Right.
So I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but of course they like Cody, but they also understand Cena. We're smart enough to know it's Cena's last year, so everybody's gonna be cheering for the motherfucker on his way out the door, no matter how much you want us to boo him.
How many stars you give this one?
Although the booing seems forced, but I mean the booing is forced, but it would have been. Never mind. If they did this at Mania, it'd be a whole different trajectory. But that's either. Neither here nor there.
How many stars you give this one?
A 3? It was like 9 minutes. I mean, it ain't that much I could do. I mean, once Cena came out, we knew shenanigans was popping off, so.
Yeah, I agree with that. 3 stars. Alright, this event as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
It was good. I give it a thumbs up. I mean, it was good because you had a couple of surprises. You had some things we thought were going to happen, not going to happen. And Cody came back, and it sets up what happened at Money in the Bank. So, I mean, the people seemed happy with it. So, the crowd seemed uber into it. So, reading the crowd, it seemed like it was a thumbs up for them. So, why wouldn't it be for me?
I give it thumbs in the middle. I wouldn't necessarily say I go back and watch this event. Even though there were some memorable moments in it. Especially, the rant by Jesse Ventura, which was hilarious.
The rant was everything.
Yeah,
the rant was everything.
That was the whole show. So thumbs in the middle seems fair. It wasn't a bad show. It just wasn't the best show, I would say.
Right.
Alright. That will conclude our coverage of WWE Saturday night's main event.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.